Hey guys, this is a little bit of a preview of what we're going to be covering on ESP Raw number 127. This is the 5th volume of that combination man curriculum we're working on. This one can be worked independently. Then this was all about clinch fundamentals, trying to move us into intermediate territory and maybe clear up a few misnomers or a few ideas that you need to have right up front with the material. There's going to be a lot more detail on it, but one thing we're going to go ahead and preview here is talk about the standard over-under pummeling drill. Forget all the extra noise we got going on right now. Let me borrow your hand. It's my wife Kylie. She's going to help me. We all know the over-under pummeling drill with the over-under match. You know, wow, that is some heavy pipes on those Harleys. Enjoy that in the clip as well. All right, we got the over-under match position. I'm going to act like you guys already know what we're talking about. We've all seen what this pummeling drill looks like. People just moving from match position to match position. What I want to talk to you about whenever you're doing this, though, is to make sure you're just not getting locked up into some bad habits early. And that would just be running this thing tit for tat, just reaching and slithering through. A couple of problems with this is just trying to enter at the crook of the arm. We're going to do instead is introduce the rule of the palms, which means the palms of your own hand. Instead of me trying to sneak and find this spot right here in the crook of the arm, you're going to bring your hand all the way to your chest. And she'll be doing the same thing on the other side. I'll be doing it, of course, it's a much worse view for me grabbing my own chest, right guys? So I'm going to take this hand all the way to my own chest. I'm not looking for the crook of the palm. Sometimes you see people take that wrist trying to snake it over. Forget that noise, guys. Bring it all the way to your chest, all right? So once we have it at the chest, I'm not now going to try and do some sort of tricep extension. Once I have this in the chest, I start thinking about pushing my elbow down. Once I push the elbow down, then I'll make the snake through happen. So make sure we're clear on this. I'm not going snake into the crook of the arm. When you see that wrist fold right there, you already know you're in bad territory. That's not where you want to be. So to the chest, get that right on top. Once your chest finds that space, that's even if this is in tight. Brush your own chest, push down with the elbow, then it'll be time to snake through. She's doing the exact same thing on the other side. So with that rule of the palms, we see what we're talking about. Palm to chest, snake. Palm to chest, snake. And we're not going to the crook of the arm. It just happens to look like the crook of the arm. You're going to your own chest. And the second idea on this rule of palms, guys, is same time I'm doing this with my palm, offensive palm, the defensive palm is going to pull tight against the scapula. This is where a big problem is, because you got to think about it. How am I getting into this position? How is she getting in this position? By there being some space. And that's why a lot of times people think that you're getting in that crook of the arm because you're doing a cooperative drill. What we're trying to do is you want to keep that as tight as possible. I want her to have, my opponent to have some space there to make it easier for my brush through. But by me, at the same time, I pull palm to palm here, I pull here at the same time, which you see will keep this tight, makes her having to work harder on this insertion point. So if you're both working, invisible you for just a moment, pulling in this way and then get this stroke moving through, you're on the right page. So here I'm going palm to chest, palm to scapula, and digging through. Now both of us, if we're using both in the rule of palms at the same time, the game becomes a lot more bothersome because there's more cohesion going on. Which is what you want for yourself as the offensive, defensive player. You don't want the other person to have good rule of palm. There's something else going on here. If you notice from behind, where we're just doing the same drill, giving you guys, when I say attractive view, rarely do you get that. Pull it in, we're doing the rule of palms to snake through. And you see how we're both able to stay upright with this drill as we're moving back and forth. There's something else. You see how now my opponent is moving back and forth, and it's just not the change in weight class. There's another rule. You can step out. You notice how she wasn't able to do that to me yet? It's not just the weight class, because she had instructions to only work the rule of palms. There's a second rule called the rule of tipping, and we're not talking 10% or 15 or whatever it is you're giving your servers. We'll cover that in depth on ESP Raw 127. I can't give away all the candy, not with all the bootlegs out there and me trying to put a new roof on this house, guys. But anyway, the rule of palms should go a long way to cure a lot of things. We get that rule of tipping on top of that, and then the rest of this raw material is going to take you through all sorts of drills to get really offensive with what you're able to do with those underhooks, and if you can't get 2 underhooks in, still how to go offensive on your go behinds. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy that. Have fun.